just want to make sure people in my community know what water reclamation does, know the opportunities that they can provide for the community, and, you know, just learn a little more about water conservation.
So the word reclaim, that's the clue right there. You're reclaiming the water. This is wastewater.
Yes, they treat our wastewater. So the water that leaves our house, basically when we flush, the water eventually comes full circle back to Lake Michigan. And water reclamations, one of their top goals is to protect and preserve Lake Michigan. It's a very long treatment process, but eventually it goes back. So that's another reason why I feel my scientific background can be an asset to the board, because I know about the water treatment process. I'm familiar with the testing. So I feel, you know, they can use my scientific expertise. So
water is actually a reusable commodity, if you want to call it that, because people do pay for it.
Other places, you're right.
I mean, when you're getting fresh water, you're paying for it from the city, right?
Yes.
So they charge you. You have a water bill if you're a landlord or you own property. If you're a tenant, that's part of the rent. So that water is being, when people take a shower, take a bath, wash the dishes, use the toilet, the water goes out of the house into the sewer system.
Exactly.
And what are those sewer? Somebody told me to ask you, where do the sewer pipes go? Do they go from little sewer pipes to big sewer pipes and go somewhere? I have not observed the sewer pipes or the tunnels, but it's all funneled back to the plants. Right. And at the treatment plants is where they treat the water. Right. I told them I would ask you because you would know, and then I was also telling them if you're ever out on I-55 going west, I think there's a treatment center out that way where that water is treated. Yes. And it goes through filters and it goes through a number of processes to eliminate, you being a chemist, there's a lot of things that needs to be eliminated. Toxins, bacterias, and the list goes on, right? Yes, the list goes on. And another issue I want to address is a lot of times we're using products and they're going into our waste, going into our water down the drain, and there are things we should be mindful of not to put in the water, because it is messing up our environment and, the lake. Now, your website is on the screen now, and if they go to your website, there's a little blurb on there about old medications and things like that. Yes, like prescription drugs, we shouldn't flush those down the toilet. That's something I really want to push in our community because we might have scattered drop-off sites. So you might hear once or twice a year someone sends out an email blast, so-and-so is collecting prescription drugs so you can dispose of them the proper way. But it should be an ongoing thing. So I would love to, once elected to the board, partner with an organization to just have things like that standing to keep our community mindful of ways we can, conserve water and protect our Lake Michigan, because I feel, we really take Lake Michigan for granted. We drive on Lakeshore Drive and, we see the beautiful lake and we think, we don't know that water is, it's priceless and it's very valuable and we need to basically preserve it. So the water that we get on which the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District has absolutely nothing to do with, when we get in the water from the lake, that the city of Chicago is pumping that. I know they got these, I forget the name of them, they're way out in the lake and brings water in, and that water has to be treated also. Yes. Now, the city of Chicago is the water that comes out of your faucet. Right. And I've worked in their laboratories also. So what were you doing when you were in the labs? I was a water chemist. Okay. I treated the water that came to your house. Okay. And now I want to help be a part of taking care of the water that's leaving your house. On the back end, reclaiming that. So not having pharmaceuticals and things like that. It makes it very difficult. It could be more, the cost for treating and reclaiming the water and recycling the water, everything is so costly now. Yes, it's very expensive. It's very expensive. As you know, water reclamation has a huge budget. 1.6 billion, I think. So wow, yeah. It's a major,
responsibility that I feel our community just, we have no idea about it.
And then everybody that's watching this program, you drank water yesterday, you're probably drinking water now, and you're going to drink water tomorrow. So this is important. This is not a position to overlook, and as a commissioner, you'll be doing us a great service with your background. And you also tell us about, you've gone beyond just being a chemist. You deal with the environment. You're an environmentalist?
Yes, I'm an environmentalist. I'm a member of the Sierra Club. So, it's a combination of things that have, made me interested in this position.
Okay.
I'm very serious about water conservation. So I always push I call them still water tips. I have a list over 100 and something of those on my website. Every now and then on Facebook, I throw out a still water tip, and it's amazing, I'll say something that, because I've been friendly with the Sierra Club, which is the largest environmental organization in the world, and, through being a chemist, I have to be, very conscious of my environment. I'll throw out tips and I'll think, people just know about it, but people will respond like, why should I do that? And that's when I realized, I'm already active in my community, so I need to bring more information to my community about, just how valuable our water is and about water reclamation.